Hello my dear students, welcome to EduHunt video lecture series. We have discussed various joints, axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton and the number of bones which constitute each part of the skeleton and how they are engaged in locomotion, how they help in movement and locomotion of an individual. So let's see the next model worksheet, that is second worksheet. Let's move on to the first bit. Which of the following items gives its correct total number? To answer this question, we should know how many bones are present in each system, like in axial skeletal system and also in appendicular skeleton, and in how many bones are present in a skull, in cranium and facial bones. Like that, the details of every structure we should know. Types of diabetes 3, cervical vertebrae in humans 8, floating ribs in humans 4, amino acids in proteins 16. So the question given is to identify the correct total number, that is floating ribs is 4, because we have 12 pairs of ribs. Out of 12 pairs, 7 pairs of ribs are true ribs and remaining 5 pairs are false ribs. Among these 5, first 3 pairs are false and remaining 2, that is the 11th and 12th pair of ribs are, these are 11th pair and 12th pair of ribs are, though they are false, they are called as floating ribs as they are not connected to the sternum. They are not connected to the sternum. Vertical connection is absent, only dorsally they are connected to the vertebral column. That is why they are known as floating ribs, and there are 2 pairs of floating ribs. 2 pairs and altogether 4. So this is the right option. Elbow joint is an example of, elbow is, this is elbow, so it is an example of hinge joint. 3 of the following pairs of human skeletal parts are correctly matched with their respective inclusive skeletal category and 1 pair is not matched. Out of 4 pairs, 1 is not matched. Identify the non-matching pair of skeletal parts category. Malleus and stapes, ear ossicles. Yes, malleus, incus, stapes, these are present in ear. Sternum and ribs present in axial skeleton. Yes, these are the parts. Clavicle and glenoid cavity, pelvic girdle. Probably this could be the wrong answer, because clavicle and glenoid cavity are present and are a part of not the pelvic girdle, they are the parts of pectoral girdle. Humerus and ulna appendicular skeleton, yes, they are the parts of appendicular skeleton. So, humerus and ulna are the parts of forelimbs. So obviously the wrong answer is 3. So this is the mismatched pair. So correct answer here is the third one. Select the correct statement. So we should clearly read the question first, whether they are asking for to observe or to identify the correct pair or to identify the wrong one. So here select the correct statement regarding the specific disorder of muscular or skeletal system. Myasthenia gravis autoimmune disorder, gout inflammation of joints due to extra deposition of calcium, and muscular dystrophy is and age-related shortening of muscles. Osteoporosis is decrease in bone mass and higher chances of fractures with advancing age. So among these four, fourth is the last and correct answer, because osteoporosis is a disease that is quite common in elderly people. It comes with age, the bone mass becomes decreased and bone fractures are quite common in these people. Select the correct statement with respect to locomotion in humans. The joint between adjacent vertebrae is a fibrillar or fibrous joint. A decreased level of progesterone causes osteoporosis. Accumulation of uric acid crystals in the joints causes their inflammation. The vertebral column has 10 thoracic vertebrae. Select the correct statement. Out of 4, 3 are wrong and only 1 is correct. A decrease of level of progesterone causes osteoporosis in old people. This is correct option, because joints between adjacent vertebrae is not a fibrillar joint. Accumulation of uric acid causes gout disease. The vertebral column has 10 thoracic vertebrae. How many thoracic vertebrae are present? How many thoracic vertebrae are present? There are 12 thoracic vertebrae. They are not 10, 12. Select the correct matching of the type of joint with the example in human skeletal system. Type of joint and examples are given. Cartilaginous joint between frontal and parietal. Frontal and parietal are the bones present in the facial part of the skull, and cartilaginous joints join or combine these bones. Pivot joint between third and fourth clavicle. Hinge joint, they are asking to mention the correct option. Hinge joint between humerus and pectoral girdle. Gliding joint between the carpals. So the correct option is gliding joint between the carpals is the correct option, because hinge joint is not present in the pectoral girdle and humerus, because it is a ball and socket type of joint, because we can move we are able to move this arm in 360 degrees. We can rotate it 360 because the ball and socket joint facilitates the movement around 360 degrees. Glenoid cavity articulates. Glenoid cavity articulates. Glenoid cavity, where it is present? Yes, it is in pectoral girdle. So the cavity articulates scapula and acromion, clavicle and scapula, humerus with scapula and clavicle with acromion. It is the humerus with scapula. Which of the following is not a function of the skeletal system? Locomotion, storage of minerals, production of erythrocytes and production of body heat. Production of body heat is obviously the answer. Which of the following joints would allow no movement? No movement is possible through fibrous joints. Fibrous joints like sutures. Sutures between joints present in facial bones. Osteoporosis, an age-related disease of skeletal system, may occur due to decreased level of estrogen, accumulation of uric acid. No, it is gout. Immune disorder affecting neuromuscular. No. High concentration of calcium. So decreased level of estrogen is the correct option, because in old people the levels of estrogen decreases, falls down. With age, this kind of disorder they face. Out of X pairs of ribs in humans, only Y pairs are true ribs. Select the option that correctly represents values of x and y and provides their explanation. X 12 pairs, y 5. 12 pairs ikkada ribs istunna, true ribs. Ribs are 12 pairs but true ribs are only 7 pairs. So obviously మనం దీన్ని స్ట్రైక్ అవుట్ చేసేయచ్చు. 24 అంటే ట్రూ రిబ్స్ అన్నారు కాబట్టి 24 అన్న 12 pairs, so we can cross this also. X is equal to 24, ఇక్కడ కూడా ట్రూ రిబ్స్ అన్నారు. 12 true ribs are dorsally attached to vertebral column but are free on ventral side. 12 true ribs. 12 ante no, 12 ante 6 pairs. 7 true ribs are attached to vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. Yes, x is equal to 12 and y is equal to 7. X pairs of ribs. Yes, 12 pairs of ribs are there. True ribs, y true ribs, yes, y is equal to 7. 7 pairs of ribs are true and 12 pairs of ribs are there. 5 pairs are false ribs. ఇందులోని 5 pairs లోనే 2 pairs floating ribs. Correct answer 4. The pivot joint between atlas and axis is a type of what kind of joint it is? It is a synovial joint as it facilitates the movement. Select the correct option. 8th, 9th and 10th pairs of ribs articulate directly with the sternum. No, they are attached to the 7th ribs. 11th and 12th pairs of ribs are connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. Each rib is a flat thin bone and all ribs are connected dorsally to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally to the sternum. There are 7 pairs of vertebro-sternal, 3 pairs of vertebrochondral and 2 pairs of. Each rib is a flat thin bone and all the ribs are connected dorsally to the thoracic vertebrae, yes, and ventrally to the sternum. But all the ribs annar kabatti idi wrong option. 11th 12th pairs of ribs are connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. 11th 12th, they are not connected to the sternum. 11th 12th అంటే లాస్ట్ 2 pairs అవి sternum కి కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు కాబట్టి వాటిని ఫ్లోటింగ్ అన్నాం. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ రాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. ప్రాబబ్లీ ఇది ఇన్కంప్లీట్ ఆప్షన్ ఇచ్చిన దిస్ కుడ్ బి ద కరెక్ట్ ఆప్షన్ బికాస్ దేర్ ఆర్ 7 pairs of vertebro-sternal, that is true ribs, vertebro-sternal. All the first 7 pairs of ribs are connected dorsally to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. 3 pairs of ribs, vertebrochondral, yes, these are 3 pairs and 2 pairs of floating ribs. Ante దీని ఆన్సర్ 2 pairs of floating ribs. Yes. Match the following joints with the bones involved. Gliding joint, hinge, pivot, saddle. Easily identifiable joints are hinge joint because there is no confusion. Hinge ante like mana laptop ela aithe only one side open ayi close avutundo, and the joints of doors, hinge joint ni first identify cheste the, and then saddle joints are present between the carpals and the metacarpals. Okay, saddle. Pivot joint between axis and atlas, and gliding joint between this one. So the correct option is 1, that is A3, B4, C2 and D1. D1 వచ్చిందో లేదో చూద్దాం. Yes, D1, A3, B4, C2 and D1. Yes. ఇది అంటే ఈ బిట్ చేయడంలో కొంచెం జాయింట్స్ మీద కాస్త నాలెడ్జ్ ఉండాలి. ఫస్ట్ ఈజీగా ఐడెంటిఫై చేసే జాయింట్స్ ఏవి? బాల్ అండ్ సాకెట్ జాయింట్. బాల్ అండ్ సాకెట్ జాయింట్స్ ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉంటాయి? ఇక్కడ ఉంటాయి. భుజాల దగ్గర అంటే షోల్డర్స్ దగ్గర ఉండేవి బాల్ అండ్ సాకెట్. అలాగే ఫీమర్ కాళ్ళ దగ్గర లైక్ థైస్ పార్ట్లో ఉండేవి కూడా బాల్ అండ్ సాకెట్. హింజ్ జాయింట్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ దే ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్ నీస్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ ఎల్బో. మన మోచేతుల దగ్గర ఉండేవి హింజ్ జాయింట్స్. పైవట్ జాయింట్కి బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అట్లస్, అంటే ఫస్ట్ వర్టిబ్రాకి సెకండ్ వర్టిబ్రాకి, అంటే అట్లస్ అండ్ యాక్సిస్ ఫస్ట్ 2 వర్టిబ్రా మధ్య ఉండే ఆ జాయింట్ పైవట్ జాయింట్. మనం ఎస్ అని చెప్పాం కదా ఎగ్జాంపుల్గా. సాడిల్ జాయింట్ అంటే బిట్వీన్ కార్పల్స్ అండ్ మెటాకార్పల్స్. కార్పల్స్ అంటే మన రిస్ట్ దగ్గర ఉండేవి, మెటాకార్పల్స్ అంటే పామ్ దగ్గర ఉండేవి. ఈ రెండింటికి మధ్య చూడండి గ్లైడింగ్ జాయింట్స్. ఓకే, గ్లైడింగ్ మనం మోచేతిని తిప్పలేము, ఓన్లీ వన్ సైడే ఆపరేట్ చేయగలం. సో ఇది హింజ్ జాయింట్. దీన్ని ఇటుతో పాటు ఇలా కూడా తిప్పగలుగుతున్నాం. అంటే అనదర్ మూమెంట్ is facilitating. This joint is facilitating to move not only in this direction but we can also move our wrist in this manner. That is why it is different from the elbow joint, that is hinge joint. A saddle joint is joint present between the carpals of the wrist and the metacarpals of ఎన్ని ఉంటాయి? 5 metacarpals ఉంటాయి ఆఫ్ ద పామ్కి రిస్ట్కి మధ్య ఉండే బోన్స్ సాడల్ జాయింట్. అలాగే గ్లైడింగ్ జాయింట్ లైక్ ఇన్ ద కార్పల్స్ ఉండేది గ్లైడింగ్ జాయింట్. ఎక్కడ ఉన్నది? గ్లైడింగ్ జాయింట్ కార్పల్స్. సో విత్ దిస్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఫినిష్డ్ అవర్ వర్క్ షీట్ పార్ట్. యాక్సియల్ స్కెలిటన్ మీద ఎక్కువ బిట్స్ ఇందులోనే ఇచ్చారు. జాయింట్స్, మెయిన్లీ ద జాయింట్స్ అండ్ డిజార్డర్స్ ఇన్ ద జాయింట్స్, దానికి సంబంధించిన బిట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా మనం ఈ వర్క్ షీట్లో కవర్ చేసాం. ఇన్ డెప్త్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి, డైరెక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్స్, ఇండైరెక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. లైక్ జాయింట్స్ గురించి డైరెక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్స్, బాల్ అండ్ సాకెట్ జాయింట్స్ ఆర్ ప్రెజెంట్ ఇన్, అది డైరెక్ట్ క్వశ్చన్. ఆ జాయింట్ ప్రెజెంట్ బిట్వీన్ హ్యూమరస్ అండ్ అల్నా is dash. Though it is a direct question, we should know what kind of joint is present. So in that way we should make a note on the joints and the disorders in the joints. Okay, with this I finished my concept today, and in the next session I'll come with few more exercises based on all the concept, that is axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton, various girdles, joints as well as their disorders. All the best and keep on going. Move ahead with your studies and prepare well and perform well. All the best.